Hello again, my name's Gabe Zolna. I post MVI 4942, Obama's State of the Union address. And naturally, as one would expect, I left out a couple of topics that I'm certain that he's going to talk about. One of them is going to be the drawdown, the end of the war in Afghanistan. The end of the war. Well, he's not going to tell us that he's sent back hundreds, if not thousands, of our troops. Just to be there, right? Yeah, see, he didn't have much of a choice. He had to send back troops. But in his twisted, drug-induced mind, the war is over. So he's going to pat himself on the back about that as well. What else is he going to talk about? Well, I mentioned a whole number of areas that he's going to lie to us about, and I'm sure there'll be others as well. He's going to emphasize how he's going to do everything that he can to work with the Republican-controlled Congress, and he's not going to mention, I don't believe, the Keystone Pipeline, because that's something that he's going to veto. He's already made that very clear, so there's no reason to talk about it. We already know his position on the Keystone Pipeline. You sort of have to ask yourself a question: why? Why? Is he really that concerned about the environment when he's destroying America? I don't believe that's an issue for him at all. It's just one other way that he can cause havoc. You know what you have to also ask yourself? 6 weeks ago, we were paying $4 a gallon for gasoline, and then voila, overnight, I saw gas at $1.81 a gallon. Now ask yourself this question: how is that possible? How could a barrel of oil that was selling for over $100 end up being less than $45 in 6 weeks? When you think about it, it makes absolutely no sense, because even if there's an influx of oil, it's going to take a while for that to be disseminated throughout the country. Yet oil dropped all across the country. What do we know? Well, we know that Russia, their economy, as well as a number of South American countries, they depend on oil hovering at around $100 a barrel. King Abdullah, the streets are paved in gold in Saudi Arabia because of oil. That's all they have. You take away their oil, they'll blow away in the dust of a sandstorm. But overnight, oil dropped less than half of its value. What does that tell me? Well, it tells me that it was overinflated for a very long time, and we were getting screwed. That was another way that Obama tried to break the backbone, mainly of the middle class. At the same time, he's destroying the economy of Russia. Do you think that Vladimir Putin is just going to sit back and watch as Obama continues to do what he's doing? I'm inclined not to think so. We've been lied to constantly ever since, well, I think it goes back before the first Bush. I truly do believe it goes back before the first Bush. Speaking of the Bushes, I read an article, and it talked about Jeb. It talked about him really not being a conservative, him being all for immigration reform. Might the fact that he's married to a Hispanic have something to do with that? I don't know. And he's also big on Common Core. So do we really want another Bush But we might not have a choice. If Bush was selected like Obama was selected, I think Obama's fallen out of grace with his handlers because of having lost the Senate and not being able to take control of the House. We'll see. We'll see. But I have no doubt, as I stated at the beginning of this particular video, that the chosen one will be patting himself on the back for ending a war that he didn't end. Like everything else, smoke and mirrors. Lies, lies, and more lies. Both he and Michael probably break a gut laughing as they're cruising at altitude, looking out the window of their luxurious room in Air Force One, where they could frolic and play. It's pretty insane, folks. I sort of told you what I think, and once again, I'm sure there'll be other topics that he's going to lie to us about. But all we'll hear is lies, lies, and more lies. Nothing has changed. I told you what I think. So what do you think?